Okay, so we have a Jenn Air dishwasher that stopped working, and we think it is the control panel, which is right up top here, seems to be on the fritz. So after doing a little bit of research, we've got the model number on the outside, which is a Jenn Air JDB 1255AWP1. Did a little research, looked up on online, and it seems that it could be one of the first things to go. Looked up the part number, and that is a genuine Whirlpool dishwasher control panel, part number W10161783. This is the part that's believed to be faulty, which is just this control panel right here. And so we noticed that all these different cycles and options, it kind of came down to just one option or cycle, and then it just kind of kicked that all together. So we're going to replace that. There's just some screws that use a torque screw on the corners and the side here. There's a couple long screws, which I'm marking with an L right there. Just go around all the corners, really easy. And a quick note to self, I always put the screws down on something that will contrast on a paper towel instead of putting it on a black counter, or I'm going to lose it later. And there was only a couple of screws that were longer than the rest. I just put an L next to it. I took this apart earlier, so just to get an idea of looking at what was inside. Oh, and if you haven't already, now's an awesome time to hit that circuit breaker and turn it off. Oh yeah! Snaps like a Slim Jim. Uno mas. Okay, I've got all the screws off of the panel. That's what, 8 short screws and just the 2 long ones. To pull the panel off, it's pretty simple. You just kind of lift up, and you'll see it'll pull away from the door. You're going to have some cables down here as you pull up. You just want to disconnect those before you take the whole thing off. So there's basically that's one power cable that looks like it's going to the soap dispenser, and you're going to just pull that right out. Now that the power cable to the soap dispenser is disconnected, we can remove the entire panel, and it comes off pretty easy. Okay, now that we have the panel removed and the power plug removed, we're going to remove the circuit board. This is where it says danger. Again, you want to make sure you go down in the basement and turn off your circuit breaker. Behind here we've got the circuit board, and this is going to be the whole control panel we're going to be replacing. So it's 3 bolts here. 1, 2, 3. Going to remove those now. I don't think that's the right size. I'll be right back. Okay, so I pulled the cover off. Got the pretty much the main circuit board, main power board, whatever this is here. And what I'm going to do right now is just disconnect each one of these cables. Yeah, just kind of wiggle them off. There's a couple that have to push down on a tab here. Other ones, like these over here, just kind of wiggle them out. Be careful not to bend anything. But we're going to remove that card, and then we're going to take these other 2 bolts out. Okay, the cables are all disconnected now. There's 2 little black tabs on each side. I'm just going to, as you try to raise this card out, you're just going to make sure that that little tab is pushed in so that the card will clear. Actually, now that I'm thinking of it, the last time I took this board out and I just kind of looked it all over to see if any circuitry looked like it had a burn mark or something like that, and I had removed the entire card. looking at it now, I think I can just take out these 2 bolts out and leave it here. I could have probably left all that stuff plugged in, but I'm going to remove these 2 bolts right here now. Let's move all this stuff back. And I'm going to disconnect this right here. I believe this whole thing was voila. And this entire piece of plastic here we're going to replace. Here we've got the replacement part. So it is the dishwasher control panel. There's that cable that I was talking about. And let's take a look. What do we have to do to replace this? Looks like a couple screws, maybe, we'll see. Okay, looks pretty basic. 1, 2, 3, and these will be pulling out 1, 2, and 3. Doodle. Don't lose that screw. Pay attention. Why is he thumbing all 3? We know how to take out screws. Okay, to pull this out, I had to give it a good yank because it was this guy and this guy right here that was kind of securing it in. So it looks like we're going to have to remove those and put it into the new piece. So again, here we are looking at the old piece with these 2 metal pieces. Looks like these are going to have to come out, and we're going to have to pop them into place or screw them into place here. This looks like it might be some sort of small Torx, so we'll have to take a look back in the toolbox for that. So before I did that, it's actually the same size as the screws we took out before, which is the Torx T20. That's the one. And yep, they are screws, so we're going to take those and put them in the new one. I don't know if it's threaded. So I have to make a thread in it. Nope, it's not threaded, so we're going to have to put some pressure into it and put a thread in this. Okay, they're in. Let's put it in here. Give me a hard time coming out, so I got to figure out how to just get it past there and get that secured in there. Okay. Easy enough, slid right in. Now I'm just going to put these 3 bolts in and get this card back in, plug this cable in, fold this back over, plug all the rest of the cord. Okay, we've got the 3 nuts in, and that is a 1/4 inch nut driver for this particular machine. And next we're going to put the card back in. So we're going to tuck that cable underneath. And line these 2 up. Okay, with the board now screwed in here, and screwed that board back in here. Just going to replug all the cables in here, this being the ribbon cable here, and it's pretty easy. These are all different sizes, so you can kind of match them up. It's really not a lot of confusion here. With the ribbon cables, try to focus here. With the ribbon cables, you basically want to pull that out. Slide that in, and then just pull that tight close like that. Got these 2 guys in here. That's going to snap in. Last one here. Hold on. Alright. snap. It basically goes, it's just like a little round part here that goes into here. Flip ran out of juice. Back to the phone here. Basically, I did put all the screws back in the corner, and I did put that safety cover back on. I realized that after I was moving on that I hadn't put it on, so everything is back. No leftover screws. Down in the basement. Hit that switch. Dishwasher. Moment of truth here. Let's see here. Options, Santas. How do you run this thing? Okay, well, we do have lights. Very good sign. And it looks like it's giving us all the options.
Oh, what happened?
What happened?
I don't know. Let me see.
It's moment of truth.
Oh, there's water running. There's water running.
Yes.
Actually, can I just check something?
Go for it.
Do it without a heat gun.
All right, moment of truth. It's running. And I'm going to check the old part. So this dishwasher control panel, what we did here afterwards, this is the old one. I mean, if you just look at it, like you said, where does the steam go? It goes nowhere. It just kind of corrodes this entire circuit board. So that's obviously what's the problem. There you have it. It's about $160 delivered.